What's up, Savages? You ready to go from old school to new school? Well, you should be. Bam! Thank you, Nemo TK, for putting this together for me. I love this animated graphic. I feel so cool. And before I get started, I just want to say one thing. Golden Boy, kiss my left nut. I have now beat you and I don't have to edit my videos. Yeah, how does that feel? You can taste it. I can taste your tears. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gandhi's Thoughts, brought to you by My Nutrition. I am Gandhi. Today, I am talking about FaZe Black and Strictly Business. Who got into Season 2? Who did it? Strictly Business did. That's who. And for a lot of people, it catches them completely off guard. And it kind of caught me off guard, but not in the sense that Strictly Business got in, but that some other teams got in. But we're going to get into that. So, Clap basically made the ruling, and MLG made the ruling that Strictly Business, because they are an organization, will hold on to their spot in the Season 2 league for the Season 2 league. That didn't make sense in my head, so I'm going to try it again. MLG announced that Strictly Business will retain their spot in the next season, which is going to be Season 2 of their next league, and it's really, really big for Strictly Business to hold on to that because Strictly Business, brand new organization coming in, and they do so well at treating their guys just exactly how you would want to see players get treated. You know, Jay's a great guy. I exchange tweets with him all the time. Can't say enough about the guy. He's just really good. Class act. But on the other side, you know, we have FaZe Black. FaZe, humongous organization. You know, they have two players who defeated Complexity. They have Proofy, a lifetime just guru from Call of Duty. And then you got Formal, the new young gun, who's basically proving everyone wrong that he can make the switch over to COD. He made it to COD Championships. He was on TK. And he's just proving that he's here to stay, right? And FaZe Black now, which you could argue is a heavy fan favorite, right? You really could argue that, you know, a lot of people, they have a lot of eyes on them, is now forced to go through the open bracket. And if you guys aren't familiar with this, this is where things get kind of weird, right? So in the past, MLG's open bracket, yeah, it sucked to go through because, you know, it was grueling hours and it was a big grind. But now, the open bracket doesn't go into the professional bracket. No. That is a thing of the past. The professional bracket is its own thing. Its own separate thing. It's like, you're going to look over there? Okay, cool. You guys are over there, right? And it's how it should be. It really is how it should be. I believe this change is for the best, and they're really going to capitalize on just everything. They're going to make the big teams bigger, and they're going to make up-and-comers bigger. I think that's just how it's going to be. So, you know, and the difference here is that the professional bracket, right, it's got $70,000 prize pool. Amateur bracket is $10,000. And that's an amount of money that, you know, Proofy and, you know, the guys of SB aren't used to competing for really anymore at all. They're used to the big bucks. So it's a little bit of a culture shock for them. So where does my problem exist, right? If I agree with Strictly Business being in there, where does my problem exist? Well, we're going to take a look at it here. So I was able to find, and by find, I mean someone tweeted me this, and I'm sorry the graphic looks like shit, but it's a Twitter picture. Deal with it. I was able to find the pro points and how they correlate with their teams. Now, the 10 teams who are going to be featured in MLG's second season is going to be Complexity, Envy, Optic, SB, FaZe Red, Curse Fire, Curse Atlanta, TK, Justice, Vex, Erupt, and Curse Youth. I had to start saying it like that because, like, I was reading it off and I just got fucking bored of saying it. But when you look at this, right, FaZe Black ranks up at 9th in pro points. They're above Curse Atlanta, they're above Vex, they're above Erupt, and they're way above Curse Fire. So how on earth does FaZe Black get the shaft? Well, this is how. Because the organization holds the power. So now FaZe Black, although they have way more pro points than Curse Fire, they lose that spot. And that to me was like, I couldn't believe it, right? Because here's the thing, right? Here's the big thing. MLG put such an emphasis on pro points in the first season. You know, they did the 2Ks and the 5Ks, which was amazing. They did an excellent job, and, you know, it always gives people to watch something, and it also gives the players to play for something, and there's money involved, right? But on top of that, you know, pro points dictated a lot. How many team changes did we see in Season 1 at Columbus and even at Philly just based on pro points alone? And now pro points mean dick besides in the open bracket, which is now just going to be a cluster of shit. I can only imagine what amateurs are going to go through now. But anyways, so pro points basically disappeared. And that is what I have a problem with. I believe that Season 2 should have been based off of pro points alone. You know why I think this? Is because Season 1, the teams who were kind of put into Season 1 were kind of handpicked. They didn't earn anything, you know, per se. Sure, you had a couple people who did, but there wasn't any, like, stomping grounds. There wasn't, like, a training grounds. There wasn't anything to see which teams would actually make it into Season 1. They were kind of like, okay, you, right? And that's where my problem is, because I believe that is unfair. I mean, take a look at this, right? Like, Proofy, Saints, and Censor have proved themselves so much. You can see how many points they have individually. They have a lot, right? And then to see them get it ripped away by Curse Fire, and by the way, like, I have nothing wrong with Curse Fire, but I'm just going to point them out because they're 14th, right? If this was how Columbus was ran, they would have to go through the open bracket. Curse Fire would then be going through the open bracket, but now we are seeing as organizations are getting power. Now, is this a step in the right direction? I think it is. I definitely believe what MLG is doing is best for the scene, but I disagree with the fact that it starts in Season 2. And a lot of people are going to say, oh, it's because of formal. I say, no, I don't give two shits about formal right now. I just think it's bullshit that FaZe Black, who's 9th in pro points, is going to be forced to go through the open bracket. Obviously, you know, it's going to do two things. Well, one thing perfectly for the positive side. It's going to basically show players that they can't sketch on organizations, which is good. Because the biggest scare for a company who wants to get involved in, you know, the Call of Duty scene or just general, you know, console FPS is that there's no consistency with teams. Everyone kind of bounces around. There's sketch artists. I guess that works. I have no idea why I said that. They sketch a lot, and, you know, people don't want to be a part of that. No organization wanted to be a part of that. In fact, it was so bad back in Halo 3 that organizations and sponsors, well, not organizations, sponsors used to only sponsor individual players. So we had, like, Karma, Naded, and Gosayami, for example, be sponsored by Stride individually, but not the whole team. You know why? Because you can't trust the team, because people will break up as soon as something's not clicking. Right? So hopefully we're going to see a change with that. But again, is it fair that FaZe Black is 9th in pro points and they get shafted? I disagree with it completely. If it were up to me, and by the way, you know, I have the utmost respect for Major League Gaming. You know, I've been a part of them since, you know, their first event ever at Halo Nationals back in Philly. I think it was either 2004 Philadelphia, when Sundance and Adam Apicella, aka Clap, were unloading and basically building the stages themselves with tube TVs. Yeah, I go way back with them. I mean, Clap taped me to a fucking chair with duct tape. He's got a picture somewhere laying around. So I know these guys really thought about this, but I think they catered a little bit too much to Curse. I really do. I understand Curse is a big organization. I understand Curse has money. But there's some times where you have to draw a line in the sand and say, okay, what's the right thing to do? The right thing to do is take Curse Fire and kick them out and bring in FaZe Black. Do you really want to have 3 Curse teams in your Season 2 league? No. For the normal person, they're going to be like, why the hell is there 3 Curse teams in here, right? Like, personally, I believe there should only be 1 team per organization, and that's a whole nother talk for a whole different video, but that is where my problem is. And it sucks, and, you know, the ruling goes down April 15th. That's when all the team rosters are going to be set, and that's when we're going to see it. I hope that MLG doesn't view this as like an attack, but I believe that since Season 1, you kind of handpick the teams and you put a big emphasis on pro points, that in Season 2, pro points should be taken into consideration, and you should take in the top 10 teams with your pro points, and they should be guaranteed in there, period. Now, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I love you, but I don't love you, and we're going to watch the intro, outro graphic. Sorry, I'm a little schoolgirl. Anyways, I love you, but I don't love you. Take it easy.